Is West Dakota Fox News at 9 with Molly Martinez and meteorologist Henry Blakes. Your first news of the night starts right now on West Dakota Fox News at 9.
Good evening, I'm Molly Martinez. At least 3 people are dead and more than 70 injured after an Amtrak commuter train jumps the rails above a highway overpass. This is near Tacoma, Washington. Train cars spilled onto Interstate 5 below, dangling off the tracks. Reporter Jonathan Hunt says this was a recently rolled out route touted as faster for commuters.
A chaotic scene in Pierce County, Washington, where an Amtrak passenger train derailed during rush hour, sending at least 3 cars toppling off an overpass and onto a busy highway below. Amtrak says there were 78 passengers and 5 crew members on board at the time of the crash.
Multiple cars and trucks were struck by train cars that left the train tracks and went down onto the road.
Several other cars landed in a wooded area completely upside down. Police say there are multiple deaths and injuries, and their main focus at this point is on the rescue operation. The cause of the crash still isn't clear, but it happened on a new route which Amtrak touted as more reliable.
It is all the more reason why we must start immediately fixing the infrastructure of the United States.
Some passengers say they noticed the train start to shake before it fell off the overpass. Multiple state and local agencies hoping their investigation will shed some light on the tragedy.
We train for this all the time. You know, we have Air Force bases and train tracks and ferries, and so this is a multiple agency response, a very coordinated response.
Our other top stories tonight, an officer-involved shooting inside Minneapolis City Hall. It happened this afternoon. Police say the suspect was threatening people with a knife. It happened around 5 as police were interviewing the man who is a suspect in a crime. After the interrogation, while he was alone, he stabbed himself with his own knife. Police attempted to intervene and lunged at him. That's when he lunged back at them. No word on the man's condition. Let's throw it over now to meteorologist Henry Blakes for our first check on weather.
Hey, thank you.
Thank you, Henry. A former Fargo priest charged with child sex abuse is headed to court. Fernando Saya was arrested in the Philippines last month and extradited to the U.S. Saya says he has been on the run since 2002 when he was accused of molesting 2 children in Fargo. If convicted, he could serve up to 40 years in prison. And we're getting some new details surrounding a high-speed chase today in Dickinson. Police say they spotted a stolen vehicle around 8 this morning. Officers followed the driver onto I-94. That's when he took off. Billings, Stark, and Belfield police all joined in the pursuit. They eventually stopped 23-year-old Cody Cattermas and arrested him. And following up on that Kirkwood Mall melee over the weekend, 27-year-old Anton Corley was arrested on charges of disorderly conduct and marijuana possession. 6 others were cited in the brawl. Daniela Hurtado went to the mall today to find out what security measures are in place should another one of these fights break out. Daniela?
Molly, this is the second large fight to break out within the walls of this mall. The first one happened in February of 2016 when a woman carrying a child got in an altercation with 6 other individuals. The second happened this weekend.
This fight has left some residents thinking twice about going to the mall.
I think if that happened while I was there, I would be scared. I don't know what I would do.
Bismarck police say the fight started after something was posted on the popular social media app Snapchat. Kirkwood Mall representatives say they deployed all their security officers to the incident straight away.
All hands on deck is our #1 deterrent for anything possible to happen, or if something does occur that we can instantly squash it.
Wilson also says they team up with external agencies to help ensure shopper safety.
We actually partner with Homeland Security and the Bismarck Police Department just for proactive measures. They do walkthroughs of our mall. Sometimes they're in street clothes, sometimes they're in their uniform on different patrols.
Gerstenberger says she understands these things can't always be stopped before they happen.
I don't know that how would you know that someone was coming into the mall and looking for a fight?
Police say the fight caused some stores to close temporarily.
Officers say one man involved had a golf-sized welt under his left eye, and 3 other individuals had injuries both on their hands and fingers, but nobody pressed charges. Reporting for West Dakota Fox News at 9, I'm Daniela Hurtado.
The woman at the center of a large-scale Jamaican lottery scam is asking a North Dakota judge to suppress some evidence. Melinda Bolgan's attorney says her rights were violated when she was interrogated. Now they're asking to suppress what she said in questioning. 27 people, including Bolgan, are accused of scamming at least 90 Americans out of $6 million. In election news, there's a push at the polls to make voting easier, but the effort by the Burleigh County Commission is hitting a hurdle. That's because the state's attorney says they can't change precinct boundaries. How does that affect your vote in 2018? Andrew Horn shows us. Well, listen up, Christmas procrastinators. If you want to get online orders under your tree before the 25th, time is running out. The U.S. Postal Service expects to process and deliver nearly 3 billion pieces of first-class mail this week alone. Cynthia McLaughlin shows us how workers are handling the pressure. Welcome back. After a hectic, scrambling day yesterday, power has been restored at one of the nation's busiest airports. This was the culprit that knocked out Atlanta Hartsfield-Jackson International. Investigators think a cable went up in flames, disrupting the whole system. The power outage leading to the grounding and canceling of hundreds of flights. And the trouble flew way past Atlanta. Flights all over the world were clogged up as a result. Speaking of airports, the TSA is now testing some new technology that could help detect explosives. The screening devices are currently being tested in Los Angeles, but U.S. Senator Chuck Schumer is pushing the agency to test them nationally. The standoff explosive detection units do a full body screening of passengers as they walk without slowing them down. If an explosive is detected, it will trigger an alarm. In Brooklyn, a mother and her 3 young children dead after a fast-moving house fire. The blaze broke out around 2:30 a.m. 5 members of the same family managed to escape the flames, with some seen jumping from the windows. 5 firefighters were also injured. The cause of that fire is under investigation. And an update now on the Black Hills wildfire in South Dakota. Crews say the blaze is almost fully contained. Since its spark, the fire burned more than 54,000 acres. Today, parts of Custer State Park reopened to visitors, but much of the land remains off limits due to safety concerns. In Southern California, the colossal Thomas Fire is only 40% contained. Crews say full containment isn't expected until January. Fox News correspondent Will Carr has the latest from Santa Barbara. Welcome back. We'll walk into any grocery store and you'll likely hear bells ringing. The Salvation Army is staked out this season, but a change is coming to the way they take your change. Maddie Jelseth explains. Well, the holiday season is all about giving, but what if the charity you're giving to is a scam? It's becoming all too common during the holidays. In fact, the Better Business Bureau says they've seen an uptick in charity scams, and scammers are finding new ways to target you. Take a look at what you need to do before donating. One of the websites you can go to confirm whether the charity is legit is charitynavigator.org. The Better Business Bureau says that if any of these sites end in .org, it will likely be reliable. Coming up, Twitter is cracking down on how some use their site. We'll explain the new push. Welcome back. Twitter is cracking down on violent and abusive content. So far, Twitter has suspended 2 social media accounts of far-right group leaders. Twitter says that the accounts that promote violence or hate will be banned. That also goes for graphic imagery. Twitter began enforcing the new rules today in an effort to better combat harassment and abuse on the site. Well, a dog is safe and warm tonight after getting trapped at the bottom of a ravine in freezing water. Firefighters in Maryland got a call about the stranded pup, and a rescue worker descended and scooped him up. They then lowered a ladder so the dog could climb out. Unfortunately, he was too cold to move. They eventually got him out. Back at the fire station, he got a VIP seat next to the heater and a chicken dinner. Crews are now working to find his family. Henry, speaking of frozen lakes, it sounds like we're going to be getting some winter winds of our own.
Yeah, the winter weather is going to be here, not tomorrow, so enjoy it while it lasts. So possibly the end of the year, only teens and single digits for highs.
So you're saying tomorrow's the last day to get a tan?
Yeah, that's the last day. Well, it's going to be cloudy. I don't know about that.
All right, we'll see you tomorrow.